Good morning, guys. Morning, chat. Morning, all. Hope we are well. Just let a few more people come in before we start the analysis. Have a look at news today. Today's a pretty chill day. Hope we are well, guys. Today is Thursday, March 9th. And yeah, not much. We are pretty much alright here. We don't have too much news. Just some USD news. Light USD news, but that's not till New York session. Otherwise, from that, we are pretty clean today and should be alright based on the news side. So I'm not too worried about that. That is all good. And yeah, for the charts today, definitely some interesting moves. Definitely some interesting higher time frame closes that I think we need to cover. Just put chat here. Give me a sec. While we're waiting, I can fix the chat. Because the last thing I want is to set out the plan and then the whole stream people are asking me, oh, what's the plan? What's the plan? Because they're too lazy to show up early, right? So it's nothing I can do if they're too lazy to show up early, right? And yeah. Morning. So you guys know the drill. We do start on the daily time frame here. So as always, let's start on the daily time frame and have a look what we got. So daily time frame has closed bullish, creating a nice upside wick. Current daily is now flipped bearish here. Hasn't flipped to continue bullish, but I like this support. You know, we're closing above our previous range. Essentially, we're trying to create a higher range here. If we were to look at it without any drawings, you know, it's closing above here. We're still respecting. We're not getting any closes below here. So we are essentially kind of ranging here because we're not seeing continuing upside moves, but this close here gives us a lot of information that there is definitely a lot more bullish pressure than bearish pressure. But when we go down to the lower time frames, like the 4 hour, which is not low, but you get what I mean, we start to see some issues here that price is just trending down here. We're rejecting, we're not really doing much. We're just failing to break towards the upside, but we are also rejecting our lows. Now, the biggest issue with today is that we're trading at this 4 hour support. So everyone trying to sell here, this is where you're going to get messed up. You're going to get stuff like this. And this is where it becomes very, very, very dangerous here, right? So I highly recommend not to. This is a very, look at this, right? Check this out, guys. This is a 30-minute support, a daily resistance, previous daily resistance, and a 4 hour support. So very strong zone to sell at. And I wouldn't recommend selling, and this is where people are going to take a lot of losses trying to sell at this zone here, right? So definitely be very, very careful selling at this zone. But since we know that, let's have a look what we can do at this zone, right? So we tried to break below yesterday, and we failed, completely rejected, and came towards the upside. And that was basically that, right? Nothing more to say about that. Pretty much simple. We tried to close below, failed at this 4 hour resistance / support. And now are trading kind of at the bottom of the range here. So looking at this 1 hour here, it's a clear established range. I'm still going to keep this line here. And really for sells, we need strong resistance below here. I need to see price break down, create resistance, and then continue down. Something like that. Once we're trading below here and it respects this zone, only then can you look to try sell this based on the previous session and the bearish pressure. But our range is 35 pips, which is enough to trade here. But you know, the better sells I think are gonna come below here. You know, potentially below here once we get below the support. But no, we have to be a bit patient, and selling at the support is gonna be a little bit risky. So we have to wait till we get below the support. As for buys today, we have this resistance up here. Right, let's have a look. Yeah. Probably buys would be the best above this resistance. I wouldn't mind buying based on the daily above here. That would start to make sense on a daily time frame above here. Let's have a look at 15. Yeah, above here, you know, this would basically the daily flips here. So if we are going to reject this zone, maybe we start trading towards the upside. Buys might make sense from here, or I might be looking to buy. That's a little bit more advanced. I need more information, but there is a possibility to buy here from the bottom of the range, but it's too early yet. I think sells are what look more likely here. But remember this whole rejection zone. This is what I mean, what we need to see. The same thing that we saw here is what we need to see to take sells. We need to see price close below, give this type of pullback, and once this resistance is formed and we break the lows, we can continue the sells. If we get something similar here, that's what's going to give us the easy option for sells instead of selling at 4-hour support. Even if it just pushes straight through this 4-hour support, long term, it's a very, very risky setup, trading at support, and it's not a good practice. So even if it does work out today, you guys check that in a long amount of time, like over and over and over again, you'll find more times it rejects it and fails than actually pushes through. So gold, let's see what gold is doing. Gold is still in the range now. Yesterday we had a quick spike here, which really quickly got rejected. So literally you can remove this whole move, because where we were trading yesterday is where we're basically trading today. Daily time frame though has closed weak bullish here, so not too much information on that daily close. 4-hour candle has closed bullish, but not above the resistance, right? So we have a 4-hour resistance here. We can mark that up as 4R for 4-hour resistance, right? And there's not much information from this, this close. It has closed bullish, but we're at the top of the range here, right? On the 1 hour, you can see it's very messy. Just gonna pull it up to there. 30-minute also. I think there's a possibility for buys today if we start closing above this type of resistance here, which is at 1816, 441. Any closes above this resistance, I think you can have a good shot towards this next resistance here, which is 14 pips, and essentially the top of the range, which is 52 pips. But what you'll have to see is you'll have to see volume come into the market, nice close above, and continue up, right? And that will basically be the range you look. I would prefer to see an hour close above this zone here, because we've never seen an hour close above the zone. So once we see the hour closing above this zone, that'll give you a good option. And you can look, even if you want to get a tighter entry, look for pullbacks on lower time frames to enter, right? So yeah, pretty simple, pretty clear. And yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna be looking for on both gold and GJ. GJ, as always, will write up the plan. GJ is now pushing down heavy, which is good. We want to see this pre-session. The further down we can push, the better, because people start to get FOMO with this. And someone recently wrote in the group that they used to feel like they're missing a move here, but you're not missing a move. It's really nowhere close to missing a move, because two reasons. This is just creating a zone for us to trade later, or this is creating targets. Because if I know that price, why is this open? Just give me a sec. That was weird. If I know that price can push down to a certain point on the charts, right, in the day, and then pull back, I know that, okay, to reach there before, there's a high chance that I can also reach there again, right? Similar as here. If price push back to this point here, right, there's a high chance I can reach back to this point if we're going to continue the trend. Because if a trend is going to be a downwards trend like this, you expect price to exceed the previous lows. So if you're selling in these zones, these are prime zones to sell, right? Because you expect price to exceed in these zones. But you don't know what will happen at the zone, right? So that's why it's good to trade to them, because you don't know when the trend will stop. So that's why selling lows is not always good. So I'll write out the plan, right? Need to get below 4R support at 162, create res. Right, get below 4-hour support 162 and create resistance for sells, right? And then yeah, that's one part of the plan. Okay, so looking to get below 4-hour support and create resistance for sells. The second part of the plan here is daily bullish. Why is that capital? Right, the daily is bullish. If we bounce off this, where's the 4-hour high? If we break previous year. So that means we can have potential upside. Yeah, daily bullish. And look, twice. Right, 162.380, let's put. Okay, that's the plan. Very, very simple. Yeah, based at this 4-hour support. If this flip starts to break the high, potential buys above here. Yeah, that'll start to look good. 1 hour would close above there, reject the support. And the advanced entry is going to be from down here, but we need more information, so I can't plan that just yet. You know, I have a plan of how to take it, but I can't really explain that just yet because there's not enough information for me and it will confuse a lot of you. So yeah, pretty simple plan here. Any questions, let me know. And yeah, have the same markup. Nice, nice. So if you guys have any questions about my markup or anything like that, just let me know and I will answer them. If you want to have a look at another pair, let me know. We can look at another pair. Yeah, we shall see, we shall see. Have a quick look at what stocks did overnight. Yeah, we had a push back up. Still ranging. Yeah, very similar. Interesting. Having trouble with my markup, it's like I'm seeing too much. How was your trade yesterday? Did not take any trades yesterday. There's no options for me. We were planning to take sells. We were planning actually two options yesterday. Option number one was to take sells once we close back in the range, but we closed too deep in the range and you only had basically from here to here a 7 pip target, right? Not big enough to take a trade 7 pip target. And I was not here at New York. I only trade New York once a week or something. So then we pushed up, basically pushed up from the lows here. Pretty hard to enter. I mean, there was an opportunity here to enter, to retest the highs, but that kind of failed quite quickly here. And we ended up pushing to the range lows here in New York. So there was good options to sell during New York, but even in New York, it was quite tough to sell. I would say the best option to sell was probably the break of these lows. And that's even an impulsive entry. You have to enter without the close below the range. So you're entering at this range low without even the break. So it was quite tough session yesterday. And this closure here was also another option here, but this happened way between New York and London. And this time is normally where you get your most inconsistency. So a lot of people are going to lose here. and it's the worst time to trade. But yesterday it seemed to play out. But remember, we had a bit of news that helped us push this price down here. And then late New York, I'm not trading at that time. So, you know, a little bit boring yesterday, to be honest. Hey, Harry, I'm curious if I meditate. No, I don't meditate, actually. I would like to, though. Definitely would like to. But there's so much going on in my mind that I find it tough. But I would say, a unique form of meditation. But it's not a proper form. What about gold? No, I don't trade gold in New York. I trade gold swing positions, and there was no swing positions for me. For me, my primary pair is GJ here. For me, gold, certain times I'm going to take a position. And yesterday just ranged, we tried to break up, we failed, and then we just came back down, so. Nothing much. Euro USD bias. Why, David, I've seen you here a few times. Why don't you put in chat what you think the bias is on Euro USD? And once you put that, I will tell you what I think the bias is, and you will see if you got it correct, right? And if you got it correct, it's good. So in the meantime, we'll have a look at Bitcoin while you put your bias. So overnight, Bitcoin pushed down, broke the daily low. Now we're directly at daily support here, right? On Bitcoin here. So now we're at daily support. 4-hour time frame is trying to create support here, not doing much. 1 hour, I expect us to range a little bit. Trying to buy from here is an option, but it's counter trend and very, very risky. I don't think, yeah, I think yesterday the sells was the best option here. If you're gonna try counter trend, you need not only a close above here, you need to close respect and then try to counter trend, but your target's gonna be just this wick. Watch this wick for rejection to take possible sells or something like that, right? I'd say short, I don't know, my mind always wants price to come back up. Alright, so you're looking for sells on Euro USD. So first of all, you check the daily. What is the daily's close bearish? So yeah, okay, that's good one. That's 1 point towards your bias, right? Your bias is sell, so that's 1 point towards your bias. Good. Now the 4-hour has not done that at all. The 4-hour has 1, 2, 3, tried to pull back, now closed above support. So the 4-hour is not telling you any information here to sell. There's no information, there's no resistance on the 4-hour. So selling might not be the best option just yet. Now, if you can identify what we're doing here, that will answer your question very quickly. What we're doing here is we're ranging. This is a range. Okay, this is not an area where you want to trade. It's not easy to trade in here, and it's not fun to trade in here, right? So you have to start to question yourself, okay, how am I going to trade in a range? Well, either you do two things. You sell from the top of the range, or you buy from the bottom. Selling from the top is kind of already happening now, but how big is your range here? Let's have a look. 7 pips, 9 pips. Is that really worth your time, 7 to 9 pips? You have to question yourself, right? Now, if we're going to look for buys based on the 4-hour, wait for this to push up, close above this zone, pull back, because everyone's going to get caught out in like a breakout like this, show you that it respects the zone, and look to continue the buys. And that's where you can look for buys. So shorts, I don't think shorts is ready just yet. Minimum below here, right? This is a very tight, small, boring range. Harry, do you enter the trade at a break of the wick or close of the body? Sometimes both, right? Sometimes I wait for the candle to close and then the next candle to break that previous candle's high or low. That gives me great confidence to take the trades, right? You can see sometimes when we don't break the low, we sometimes don't get the continuation, right? Resistance formed, didn't break the low, continued up. Didn't break the low, continued up. But when we break lows, that's when we continue, right? Breaking lows. So you see, guys, why it's not smart selling at 4-hour support here? Look at this reaction here. Immediate reaction. This is why it's very tough selling in these zones, and people are looking at this, they're looking at the chart like this, but they don't understand the higher time frame zones. When you don't understand your high time frame zones, people make mistakes like this. This is where patience pays, right? And you realize long term that it's not about taking as many trades in a day. It's about picking the right trades. And when you pick the right trades, you'll be comfortable to risk, more amounts on these trades. And that's how you're going to get paid off in these markets, is doing things that work and do it consistently. Not trying to do different things because the market is doing strange things today, Make sure it follows your plan. But then you should have a dynamic enough plan, and that word is key, dynamic plan that allows to fit for multiple market conditions. Like for me yesterday, the car, I just didn't have things in my line, right? Nothing really happened that I wanted to see and didn't allow me an opportunity, and then moved after my session. But I don't care if this moved after my session, because if you look 2 weeks ago in London session, we were getting moves like this, right? We were getting these huge upside moves that I was able to capitalize on, right? So people keep trying to change their session because this was what I had in London last time. But then people want to change their session to New York because just one time this week, they saw a little bit of a bigger move. It's not how it works. You shouldn't be changing your session just because you see a big move yesterday. Because maybe by tomorrow or next week, London is going to be giving us way bigger moves than any other session. It's just how it works. And sometimes you have to be patient. Yesterday, I'm sure a lot of people would have lost on gold here. This is a very key, easy mistake here on gold. A lot of people would have tried to take buys here after this 30-minute close above resistance here, and they would have lost. Why are you losing? Well, first of all, you're buying the highs of the day. This is a news candle. Let's look what's behind the news candle, right? News candles, candles that are caused by news, they don't respect. So you have to look at structure. Look at structure. Look where price retested. Wow, what a surprise. Buying into this support here, not a good idea, right? That's not a good idea. So let's look at that on lower time frame. You see that rejection? I just marked that up, and look where the 5 minute is rejecting, right? Exactly that point. Right? If we go make it even more accurate, look how accurate this stuff can get. It's scary how accurate this stuff can get. Move this here, right? Go back on the 5 minute and look how accurate this stuff can get. It's literally the exact point where it rejected, right? If you zoom out, that didn't even close above, you see? So that's how accurate that stuff gets, and people trying to take buys, that's why they end up losing in these positions, right? You need to wait for it to close above and create support. Nothing created support. I rather you would have tried to take buys here, stops below here, and then take a smaller loss instead of buying there. Because now you're trying to hit this. You would at least get into a profitable position of 12 pips. 12 pips, you can go break even. Your stop loss would have been 15 pips. 12 pips, you could have even closed or gone break even at least. Right? Instead of buying at the highs here. Anyways, that's like some key information, guys. That's some good stuff. Juicy stuff. That's some juicy stuff. So if you like that type of stuff, leave me a like. Do the YouTube business and leave a like. I'd appreciate it. Seems like the viewers are a bit slow today on YouTube, the old YouTube, which is annoying. YouTube doesn't seem to want to help get this content to more people so that they can benefit. But I appreciate you guys showing up. I always do appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy the streams. I always wait for a pullback before entering. Not always, man. Not always. If it's a high volume time, I'll just enter off the rip, but depends the zone we're trading. The higher in the market I'm trading, the closer to resistance or support, right? Like the closer to the daily highs, the more I'm going to be inclined to wait for a pullback. Appreciate you, Matt. What's your entry time frame? My entry time frame, I would say, on average ranges from 15 minutes, most common. Then next will be the 30-minute, you know. Sometimes I'm entering on the 5, but my confirmation never comes from the 5-minute. My confirmation always comes from 15, 30, and 1 hour. Those are my key confirmations. Like, let's say London opened, right? London opened, and I'm looking at, okay, what has London done? I look at the previous, how the hour has closed just before London open, right? I say, okay, it closed bullish, so I can use that as confirmation, for example. What's the difference between range and pullback? I thought USD was pulling back, however, you said it was ranging. A pullback is something like this, right? A pullback, this would be a pullback, right? If we're considering this as a downside move, that's a pullback. It's a counter trend move up to continue the main trend down, potentially. These are all pullbacks. That's a pullback to continue up. That's a pullback. A range is when price is just going sideways. Pullbacks will go the opposite direction. So if Euro USD was doing a pullback, we would expect to see this up here somewhere. That's a pullback to continue. This is just going sideways. You can draw a box over it. You see? It's a range. Need to do more back testing. Yeah, back testing is key, man. It's like practice. People don't understand about trading. They think trading is just come to the chart, press a button and make money. You need to practice somehow. You know, if you went into a boxing fight or into whatever sport it may be, play professional football, I don't care. Whatever it may be, someone could tell you all the information about football, tell you all the information about boxing, tell you everything. But that doesn't make you a better boxer, right? That just makes you more knowledgeable. You have to actually go in the ring and practice. You have to practice on the bags. You have to practice kicking a ball. You have to practice dribbling. Then you go play the match, you know? And the match is going and trading in the markets. But what is the work you're doing before the match? People skip that part so much and they end up failing. Then they say trading is a scam. Trading doesn't work. It's too hard to trade. Yeah, trading is hard. But you're not doing any practice. You just listen to people talking. And then you think you know it all, and then you go in the charts and lose. Because you haven't practiced. You don't know the drills. You don't know how candles move. The thing with trading is that there's a very, very fine line of the mistakes you can make in trading. A slight mistake, something you just skimmed over, just something very, very small will cause a loss. There's a very small margin for error. And when that margin happens, you're going to lose straight. You know? But if you keep things simple, you reduce your margin for error because your original plan is simple. And that's huge. That makes a massive difference. When your original plan is simple, you have less margin for error, and that means you can get things more right. Match is hard. You're matched against the pros, right? Anyway, exactly. So what are you going to do? You're just going to listen to someone tell you what to do, or you're going to actually practice it? Like there's so many, like you could keep trading so simple. You could keep trading as simple as this, right? Everyone can take a sell as soon as we have a 30-minute candle closing below here. 30-minute candle closing below here, you can take a sell. There's no issues. Now, the only difference is where you're going to run stops. You're going to run stops. If you take a candle closure here like this, targeting these lows, you have to run stops all the way up here. No doubt you have to run stops up there. 42 pip stops on that type of candle closure. That's how you'd have to run it. And that's what people don't understand, is that people can run a strategy like this. Yeah, it will be profitable, but is it optimal? There's a big difference between profitable and optimal. We want to optimize our trades. I rather run a stop that's maybe 14 to 20 pips here, right? because there's no reason why you don't take a sell here, price comes up, and then continues your idea. But for me, I'm waiting for that, and I'm catching the move here, and I'm running stops, something like this, right? That's my position. You know, there's so many ways to do it, but once you have your analysis down, you can technically trade, you know. I'm not going to say it because that might cause bad habits. Yes, indicator eyes and brains. It's key. We want to optimize our trades, right? We don't mind reducing frequency to increase accuracy and increase profitability. Remember that. That's very, very key. Reduce frequency to increase accuracy and profitability. Because so what? If we only take 3 trades a week, but those 3 trades are absolute huge trades. It's fine by me. If it's not fine by you, then that's your problem. Go take 20 trades. Go take 3 trades a day. Go take 2 trades a day. You know, and you'll find very, very quickly that you're going to yield the same result in the long run. And then you would have said, man, I caused all this stress. Stressed myself crazy. Trading 2 times a day, taking a loss, taking this, taking that, when I could have just taken 3 trades a week. You know? Would you say candle colors cause false bias? Maybe using only white candles better for beginners? There is some truth to that. I've definitely seen that it can affect your psychology. I've just got used to it, but I definitely do think that if it's causing you some FOMO, if you feel like it's red candles are scarier than green candles and stuff like that, I definitely would try changing it and see how that affects your trading. There's no harm in trying, right? I think could be a good benefit. I have a different type of layout here. Let me just save this first. I've had my chart colors like this before, see? So you can change your colors. This was pretty cool. Hopefully all my drawings saved, otherwise I'm really gonna cry now. If all my drawings have disappeared. Could you repeat the reduced frequency bit again? Yeah, for sure, man. All I'm saying is that you take less trades in order to increase your accuracy of trades and increase how much your trades make, right? So it's super important to take less trades, increase the accuracy of trades, and guess what? You'll increase your profitability that way. Yes, Discord is far superior Discord. I don't know why people don't like Discord, it's far superior. I want to see what's going on with Dixie here. Let's have a look at Dixie. Monthly. Oh, that's an interesting monthly close, guys. Man. This is going back up to $1.08, $1.10. This is going back up to a $1.10. Bottom wick flip now. Yeah. This weekly close is like this. $1.07, we're coming. Very interesting. I think this slowly starts to make its way up. Largest amount of money I made in a day. That's a good question. Must be around 9-10K. 9-10K. That was back in the crypto days. For trading, I mostly see, the thing is, most of my big trades in trading don't happen in one day. They take 2 days. You know, I'm normally holding over 2 days. So in one day it's hard, you know. On one day I just have an average amount that I make. So it's not literally like that. It's more, you know. That's the difference. Like, so in a one day it's hard to say because my big trades have come in multiple days, right? I possibly held them over 3 days sometimes. And those are the trades that pay. If I'm trading during the day, I just look to have my average profit target, or I hit a target on the chart, 20 pips, get on with my day. That's it. Keep it simple like that, you know? But back in the crypto days, that stuff was moving fast. Moving mad. Alright, so we're trying to break down below here. 2 minutes till this candle closes. Let's see the reaction of 162, this kind of support zone here. That's what's going to be interesting. I don't aim at 20 pips. I said that's my average. My average is 20 pips. I aim at whatever the market gives me. Whatever the market says my target. So today, if I was to take a sell maybe below here or something, I have a 25 pip target, and that's going to be my target. If I start to see rejection around, you know, 161, 750, I'll close. But as I said, 20 pips is the average, right? Check that out. Look, that ends up being 27 pips. 20 pips ends up being the average, you see? So yeah, that's why 20 pips is like that. So yeah, 1 minute for this candle to close. And this is what I was saying. You could literally take a sell right off the rip here, but you have to hold huge stops. You know, and just let the idea play out. If it pulls back, you know, you're going to hold drawdown. But that candle close should help you to hold the trade. And eventually you should see it go down. But I want more confirmation. Like that's, you see a lot of people, most streamers will have buy above here, sell below here. And that's their strategy, right? Buys above here, sells below here. And that's the way they're going to run it. you know, and they would take this closure right here. Is it an optimal trade? Not really. Do I think it will work out? Yeah, I do think it will work out. Do I want to take it just yet? No, not really. I want to wait for this hour close, right? Look at this hour support right here. See this hour? I don't want to sell into that. So I want to wait for this hour to close in 15 minutes. And then we see, right? If we can close below here, lower time frame pulls back, guess what? I can look to take sells. Can I analyze Bitcoin? We did analyze Bitcoin. And I also advise you in the Discord, in the crypto chat, there's a daily analysis that is done every single day. And that analysis is literally what I would also look for. So it's really in-depth analysis there, right? Right, this candle is closed right at 162, right at this support here, with no bottom wick. So that's definitely no entry there, definitely. And watch this, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this come back, tap this 1 hour support and see a quick rejection. Let's see. What is gold doing? Gold broke down. Gold broke down, still in the range, basically doing nothing. If it does this kind of change of structure from the bottom of the range, you can maybe look to buy to the top. How big is it? You know, 32 pips, it's enough. Still haven't had a 30-minute close. This support here is the next big problem, right? So if we start to get below that, which will be the hour close as well, the hour would have closed below support, then there's a possible chance of continuation, right? But for all we know, this could be a big bottom wick of this daily candle and it can flip. Give me 2 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. 1 minute. In 1 minute, I'll be back. Dixie thought you're late, bro. We just had a look at Dixie. Dixie looks bullish, man. Looks bullish. Looks like it's gonna go up. Who remembers the conversation we had about bad drawdown? Right? Remember that conversation we had about bad drawdown? This is exact example here of bad drawdown, right? Not a trade that we wanted to take, and now you're holding drawdown that you're unsure of, right? Because you don't really understand what's going on, right? But if there's a trade that you trust, you're not scared of the drawdown because you trust the trade. Do you guys remember that? Anyone in chat remember that? Yeah, it did work out perfectly, but just the range was tiny, man. That's the only issue, is that we didn't have a good enough range. Right? This range from here to here was 8 pips. It was too small. If this was way bigger, plan would have allowed us to take a 20 plus pip trade, 30 plus pip trade. But sometimes the ranges are not big enough. So you see, that's what we're talking about, this bad drawdown. Now you're holding drawdown. Now everyone's happy. If price was down here, trust me, this is how YouTube works. This is how YouTube works. If price was down here, everyone would be asking me, oh, Harry, why didn't you take sells? Why didn't you take sells? Sells was the good option. But now that price is up here, everyone's telling me, oh, yeah, that he was good to tell us not to take sells at this point here. Because we would have been holding... 9 pips of drawdown already. 9 pips of drawdown. Drawdown is a normal part of trading. You have to get used to it. But if you hold drawdown in a trade you trust, you just need to let it do its thing. We're never going to get the perfect entry always where we just miss all the drawdown. There will be times where we will have a bit of drawdown. But if there's an entry that we trust, because I don't trust this entry, this is not an entry I'm comfortable taking. Is it a trade? It could possibly be. Yes, it could be a trade. But is this an entry I like taking? No. So I don't want to be holding this drawdown and now thinking, should I have taken this trade? Unless you're holding super wide stops all the way. If you're holding your stops, if you took entries here and holding stops up here for 30 pips, this doesn't even mean anything, right? Doesn't mean anything. How do you know which support and which resistance to look out for? Use the 1 hour, man. 1 hour, 4 hour, mark up the charts. 4 hour is the most important, right? Watch the 4 hour resistance. Those are your session zones. Check out what's going on the 1 hour. We obviously have a support here. We need to watch out for that. Then check the 30 minute. Same thing. Lines up, right? Very simple. I wonder how many people took sells here and now holding drawdown. See? 30 minute didn't even close below. That's what I was talking about. At least you need this 30 minute. And look at the plan. Now ask me this. I want you guys all in chat to answer me this question. Has what I planned before the session, right? What it says here in the plan, has that happened? Right, let's see in chat. Has what I planned in the session, has it happened? Read the plan and tell me if it's happened. Let's see in chat. Come on, I write this plan and you guys can't even read it? You have to tell me if you can read it or not. Plan hasn't happened, guys. Very simple. Plan hasn't happened. Exactly, yes. Didn't happen. So there's no trade yet. Now the best thing to do is wait for the 1 hour close here in 3 minutes. Let's see how the 1 hour will close in 3 minutes. What do you notice? We're closing next to support. Is it the only option you have to sell is to fill this wick? 6 pips. Is it worth your time? Up to you to decide. Exactly, waiting. We didn't even get the close below 162 support. We have a 1 hour support as well. We need to worry about selling at this zone is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. If you guys enjoying the chat we had today, appreciate any likes. If you're new, welcome, welcome. Feel free to ask questions, engage. That's why I do these streams. So 1 minute till this candle closed, looks like for now that the 15-minute will close bullish, potentially back in the 4 hour support, which is definitely interesting, and the 30-minute will close basically doji, which is not giving you the best indication of sells, right? So we'll see how it exactly closes, because a 1 minute candle can do some business. So this 1 minute candle can flip, next one can break the lows, and we can find ourselves back at 162 in 1 minute. See? But since it opened without a top wick, I do expect this to maybe flip and make a top wick. But it's 1 minute. You notice 1 minute time frame doesn't always make a top wick right in the beginning, right? But you see, yeah, the way it pushed down quickly, flip. That's why trading 1 minute is super risky. Look how it's moving super fast. Can you explain the bullish plan? Daily is bullish, so if we start breaking the 4 hour highs and get back above 162.380, above this zone, maybe there's a potential to buy up into this resistance here and potentially continue. That's the bullish plan, but that's far away. It's going to take some time for that. Look at this close, huh? You notice this close? Very interesting close. 1 hour close pretty deep here. No top wick. You need a top wick on the 1 hour. Look at this, opened with no top wick, just driving down. So I want to see this 1 hour make a top wick, and the 15-minute maybe close below the support will give you an option for sells if we close below this support. Stops above this candle. I think that's the next option here on the chart, which is going to be this 15-minute to make a top wick, because then we'll have all our plan. We'll have the below the 4 hour support 162 and create resistance for sells. If you notice, this candle wicked up, created resistance. So if we close below this 1 hour support here on the 15, we could have a good chance to continue down, right? You can see the resistance was created. Now we just need the close below. So that's what we have to wait for. Very, very simple. If it breaks support, then what should we wait for? Pullback or just enter? If it closes below support, can enter at the break of the lows. If the wick is not too long. If the wick is long, like maybe 3-4 pips, can enter on the flip. But yeah, guys, that's the plan. Pretty simple plan. Now we wait. So yeah, guys, you know the plan. YouTube is not helping me much today. Unfortunately, only a few of us get to understand this plan. Now we just have to wait. So wait for this 15 closure. I'll update you in Telegram and Discord as always on what I'm looking for. But let's see if the plan plays out and if we get a trade, and be patient, right? And we'll see. We'll see what ends up populating here on the charts. And we'll just wait and see. Morning, guys. You guys let me know in chat. Run the stream 15 minutes longer, or you guys good? You know the plan. Chat's quiet today, so that's why I'm asking. $15 minutes longer. Chat's quiet though. Chat's quiet. $24 hours. Oh man, couldn't do that. 380 is coming from this resistance, man. 30-minute resistance, 15-minute resistance. Just up here. 30 likes and you. Nah, man. YouTube is being boring. That's just a plan for buys if we start to get above there. But now that we push down, it's pretty tough. So maybe we can look buys from the bottom of the range here. But I'm trying to think how I'm gonna do this. It's still too early. Still too early. I'll stay for this 15-minute close. If this 15-minute close doesn't do any interesting, then we have nothing to do. Yen is strong, so we may push down. Possibly. Still pre-London or London session has started? Still pre-London, man. 1 hour before London opens. Watch how the candle is moving here, right? Pushes down, quickly rejects, pushes down, quickly rejects. It's not a good sign. You've got your 30 likes now. I've actually got 29, man. Come on, you've discounted one. Do you only sit at the chart at pre-London? Well, there's not much trades that normally come pre-London. I plan, I don't sit, I plan. Plan is more important than just sitting. What are you guys doing on GJ? Buying, selling? What's your plans on GJ? I want to see what you guys are thinking. Yes, now it's 30. Wait for JPY basket to get rejected, then look for GJ buys? Basket? What do you mean basket? Man's going shopping in the markets or something? What's going on? Buys above 137, only open to sells if breaks daily low. That's very sensible. I would agree with you as well. I like that plan. That's a very sensible plan. You might not get the trade because you have to wait a lot for that plan, but it's a very safe and sensible plan, and it's the one that makes most logical sense. I'll follow the stream plan. Fair enough. Someone's trading off JPY index. tough for GJ when a downtrend on the 1 hour, but at daily resistance. Exactly. I like that reply. That's a good reply. I know what you meant. Makes it tough. Definitely tough zone to trade in. Yeah, not much happening, guys. You know the plan, and I agree with all of your plans. So I think I'm going to head off now. I'll let you know if I take any trades. You'll see it. I'll keep in contact in the group anyways. Waiting to see if we can get below this 1 hour support with a close. Close to the open will be a good option. I appreciate you all showing up. If you're new here, welcome. There's plenty of content on the channel. Enjoy it. And yeah, that being said, guys, I appreciate you all. And I'll catch you hopefully very, very soon. Peace.